Fruit of the Loom halftime report is coming up. Stay with us. Miami 10-7.
There's no hot water.
I'm going to be late for school.
Wow. Look at that mess.
Oh, darn old water heater.
Can you fix it?
Water heaters die because of sediment. But self-cleaning State Turbo water heaters fight sediment and last longer.
We're all set, folks. We'll have hot water any minute.
Before it's too late, get to know State.
At Bedford Hills, our people make a difference. Bedford Hills Supply, Bedford Hills Supply.
Buy or lease from the best selection. Your giant volume low overhead dealer. The inventory store. Salerno Chrysler Plymouth Dodge. Nobody offers so many Chryslers. Like this new Chrysler LHS. Drive it for 2 years at $299 a month. Brand new Dodges like the new 95 Dodge Neon. Drive it for $159 a month. Or drive the convenience of the new 95 Dodge Caravan for just $239 a month. Always the best selection at your inventory store. Salerno Chrysler Plymouth Dodge on Crampon Road, Route 202 in Yorktown Heights.
Majestic Kitchens, the area's leader in style, service, and value for 32 years, invites you to Westchester's largest showroom. Stroll through 2 floors and 42 displays featuring some of today's top names. Experience the elegance of sophisticated Italian styling and quality by Snidero, Europe's largest exporter of fine kitchen cabinetry. Come save at our October open house sale. Get store-wide discounts and manufacturer's price incentives. Majestic Kitchens, Tarrytown Road, White Plains.
The Fruit of the Loom halftime report is brought to you by Fruit of the Loom. Clothes that make you feel good.
Halfway home at Riverfront, where Daddy Don's Dolphins lead son Dave's Bengals 10-7. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. Today's Eagles-Niners outcome had folks thumbing through the record books to find the last time San Francisco had taken a regular season beating at home like this one. Eagles 40, Niners 8. Well, it was the worst loss for San Francisco at home since 1967 when the Lions thumped them 45-3. The Eagles hadn't had a 100-yard rusher all year, but at the stick today, a rookie did the deed.
Garner, the single setback, takes the handoff off left tackle across the 25-20 at the 15-10, breaks the tackle, he's at the 5, he's in! Charlie Garner!
The rookie out of Tennessee, 16 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, 40-8. The Eagles over the Niners. Dallas went to 3-1 as Emmitt Smith scored twice, also pulled a hamstring, doesn't look too bad, 34-7 over Washington. And Arizona got its first win, holding the Vikings to 18 yards rushing. Buddy Ball with win number 1, 17-7 over the Vikes. The last time the New York Giants got out of the gate 4-0, it was 1990, and they won the Super Bowl in the Scott Norwood game. Today, Dan Reeves' troops had a 4-0 getaway in their sights, but the New Orleans Saints in their way. They played this one at the Superdome, and Dave Brown had the guys up 13-10 late in the first. And he'd like to have this one back, as they say. A little pass into the flat, right into the midst of linebacker James Williams, and he's going to go untouched, giving the Saints the lead for keeps. New Orleans goes to 2-3 on the year. The Giants lose for the first time, 27-22. The Saints had 7 sacks. Buffalo and Chicago at Soldier Field goes to the Bears 20-13. Thurman Thomas didn't play with a knee injury, and Jim Kelly an off day, 19 out of 33 for just 116 yards for Buffalo. Tampa Bay beat Detroit 24-14 despite 166 yards on the ground from Barry Sanders. Vernon Turner went 80 yards with a punt return for one of those Tampa Bay scores. For the New York Jets, the promise of a 2-0 start has been all but erased in the last 3 weeks. They went quietly in Cleveland today as the Browns breezed 27-7. Boomer Esiason couldn't play with an ankle injury, and the Jets fell behind 24-0.
Kinchin goes in motion right. Testaverde, a delay to Metcalf. He's got it. Turns the corner. 30, 20, 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Browns. And Eric goes up to the dog pound, and he is live.
The Cleveland Browns out of the chute, 4-1, 27-7 winners over the New York Jets. New England beat Green Bay on a late Matt Barr field goal, 4 seconds to play. Drew Bledsoe goes over 300 yards passing for the 4th time this season. Indianapolis, a 17-15 win over Seattle as Marshall Faulk had 90 yards on 26 carries and a couple of touchdowns. And the Atlanta Falcons, 8-5 winners over the Rams. Only 1 touchdown in this game. Bobby Hebert to Ricky Sanders. Atlanta over L.A. Fred McGriff, by the way, also a 3-run homer as the Falcons beat the Rams. Here on TNT tonight, you're watching the Shula Bowl, and you're watching Don Shula's Dolphins leading Cincinnati 10-7. We'll take it back to Riverfront, to Bob and K-Squared, and LT and the gang next.
It's first and 10 from the 37. PJ throwing deep down the left side. Thomas is open. He's got it. Boomer Thomas knocked out of bounds, and the clock is stopped. With pandemonium here in the stadium. Down by 16, and now they're within a field goal to win it.
At Fruit of the Loom, our sweats are roomy and soft. Because before you can be comfortable, you need to be comfortable. Fruit of the Loom, clothes that make you feel good.
You look at some of the wrecks and stuff that I've been in. We had a diehard in there at that time. We probably could have seen it from the grandstand because it tore all the sheet metal off. And we just take them out of that car and put them in another car and crank it up and go on. Diehard's still going and I'm not, so I guess they're a little tougher than I was. We used to have a lot of trouble with the big Hemi engines, and when they got hot, you had to push them off. So diehard was the only thing that would crank them up. It's the same kind of battery. You just go up to Sears and tell them you want a battery and put it in the car and crank it up.
Beckerly Lumber has been a family business in Rockland for over 50 years.
Can I speak to Mr. Beckerly, please?
How can we help you? We have a courteous and knowledgeable sales staff and everything you'll need for home improvements, including paint supplies, hardware, plumbing supplies, wood, and come see our new kitchen and bath showroom. We can even deliver right to your door from any of our 3 locations. So come to Beckerly Lumber. And don't worry, we won't introduce you to the whole family. For value and dependability, nobody beats Beckerly.
Arroway Chevy Geo Saab, the right way, the only way, with savings that'll blow you away. Rated #1 in customer satisfaction, Arroway doesn't just sell cars. We help our customers buy them. Arroway is your way. All Chevys, Geos, and Saabs are priced to sell now. If you're not doing business with Arroway, you're doing business the wrong way. Arroway Chevy Geo Saab, the right way, the only way, on Bedford Road in Katona.
On TNT Game. Plus, one lucky winner will head to Super Bowl 29 in Miami, Florida. And there's hundreds of other prizes. To play, send in a postcard with your name, address, age, and phone number to TNT Delta 2 Minutes and Win Sweepstakes, Box 460-213, St. Louis, Missouri 63146. Or pick up an entry form on any Delta flight and at Courtyard by Marriott Hotels. But first, meet our lawyer. Enter the Delta Airlines TNT 2 Minutes and Win Sweepstakes and get into the game.
A beautiful view of downtown Cincinnati and Riverfront Stadium. A sellout crowd tonight for Don Shula's Dolphins and Dave Shula's Bengals. And the cheer of the decade of the 90s went up here in this stadium tonight, a minute 23 seconds into the game, when David Klingler threw a 50-yard touchdown pass to Darnay Scott, and the Bengals 0-4 took a lead over Don Shula. But however, Klingler went 8 for 10 in the first part of the ball game, 1 for 9 in the last. And LT, I want to go to you to this. They seem to be into a ball control, moving the ball, offensive mindset, Cincinnati. Then they got away from it. Couldn't score again.
Well, I talked to Kenny Anderson and said the way they have to pick up on the third down conversion is get some yards on the first down. Instead, we're going to go to Bill Walsh's playbook, hit the quick receiver in the flat, pick up 4 or 5 yards like a run. Well, all of a sudden, they got away from that. I don't understand why they would try to fix something that's not broken.
Well, you know, you have Klingler quarterbacking, and of course, Dave Shula, the head coach, but Bruce Kozlett, the offensive coordinator. Who would be responsible for making that change of calls?
Well, I have to believe it had to be Kozlett, because it's the same type of thing he did when he was at the Jets. Always get themselves in a long yardage situation, and you can't win the games like that.
Well, they can't win the game. They couldn't hold the lead. Dolphins come back and get a lead, but the defense for the Bengals played quite well, with the exception of that 180-yard drive.
Well, all in all, you have to understand that this is the #1 offense in the league, the Miami Dolphins, and the Bengals are short personnel. David Shula asked his team not to embarrass him in this game. So far in the first half, they haven't. I talked about Larry Peccatello and the cut-in during the game. Used to be at Washington, helped Richie Pettibone with a lot of his game plans. Well, Larry Peccatello told me before the game, he's the defensive coordinator here, he told me that you can't fool Dan Marino. You can't use one philosophy against him. Either you have to change up your coverages. They've done that here in Cincinnati. The secondary has bumped the receivers early. They've played zone. They've done a good job of keeping people in front of them. Now, Marino's thrown for 131 yards in the first half, but 54 of those yards came late in the first half. So the Cincinnati defense, maybe minus the great linebackers, have an undersized defensive end. They don't have the personnel, but they've done a good job. Now they have to do a better job in the second half.
Well, David Klingler went 8 of 10 and then 1 of 9. The only good news that comes out of that is Miami must be covering because there have been no sacks on Klingler tonight. He had been sacked a league-leading 18 times coming into this ball game. And now we'll get ready for the second half of this ball game from Riverfront with Pat Haden and Gary Bender.
The Fruit of the Loom halftime report has been brought to you by Fruit of the Loom. Clothes that make you feel good.